Most people assume you repeat the same pain because you're weak, because you haven't learned your lesson, or because you simply don't know any better. But the truth is far darker. You repeat the same pain because your mind believes it's the safest thing you can do. Pain you already know feels safer than happiness you've never experienced. Your brain is not wired to seek what is good for you. It is wired to seek what feels familiar, and sometimes the things that feel familiar are the very things that destroy you. From the earliest years of your life, your mind began building a blueprint of survival. If survival meant staying quiet, you learned to silence yourself. If survival meant chasing love that ran from you, you learned to run after people who never stop. If survival meant proving your worth to those who never saw it, you grew up believing you had to earn love by sacrificing yourself. And if survival meant accepting chaos as normal, you learned to trust instability more than peace. So as an adult, you don't return to the same kind of people by accident. You return because your nervous system has been conditioned to think that this is what connection feels like. You leave someone who hurts you, only to find yourself drawn to another person with the exact same emotional pattern in a different body. You finally escape a toxic environment, only to create a new one that resembles the old one. You heal from a wound, yet your mind quietly pulls you back to situations that reopen it. Not because you want pain, but because your brain confuses predictability with safety. It would rather keep you in a familiar hell than risk an unfamiliar heaven. But here is the darkest insight people rarely understand. You do not repeat pain because you have failed to heal. You repeat it because your healing threatens the identity you built to survive. The version of you that tolerated neglect, that accepted the bare minimum, that never asked for too much, that carried emotional responsibility for everyone around you. That version once kept you alive, and your brain fears losing it. Healing requires becoming someone your past never prepared you to be. A person who sets boundaries. A person who walks away at the first sign of disrespect. A person who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, and doesn't lose themselves trying to be worthy. This is why healing feels uncomfortable. Why peace feels suspicious. Why good people feel boring. Why stability feels unreal. Your mind isn't resisting growth, it's resisting unfamiliar safety. It's trying to protect you using an outdated map of danger. The real conflict in your life is not between you and the people who hurt you. It is between the person you are now and the person you had to become to survive back then. When you finally see this, something begins to shift. You stop blaming yourself for repeating cycles. You stop calling yourself stupid for trusting the wrong people. You stop thinking you're addicted to pain. You were never addicted to pain. You were addicted to what your nervous system learned to call home. Awareness is the first break in the cycle. When you recognize the pattern, you weaken its power. When you question what feels familiar, you begin choosing differently. And when you allow yourself to step into the version of you that no longer needs the past to feel safe, your life begins to change in ways your old self could never imagine. You repeat pain until the day you realize you don't have to. And that realization is the moment your mind stops protecting you from a world you've already survived. Follow Mind Abyss, where the mind confronts its shadows and learns to choose something better than the pain it once mistook for safety.